I'm sorry if the lighting here isn't the best, but this is the best that I could do at the moment. It's getting a little darker out. Okay, everyone, so welcome back to my third ever vlog slash review of the new Netflix original series, Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. The title of the episode we're doing today is The Reptile Room, Part 1. So I guess this would basically be the first half of the second book of the series, and also part of something that was in the movie. Although I'll tell you right now, I did not read the second book or the third book. I only read the first book, I don't know how many books there were, but I only read the first one, and I do not remember much about this part of the movie with Jim Carrey. I'll tell you that right now. I remember the stuff at the beginning when, you know, they're moving in with the new guy, and then Olaf shows up in a disguise. But beyond that, I don't remember much of what we saw in this episode from the movie with Jim Carrey. I don't know if that's just my bad memory or if they changed stuff. Like I said, I don't know if this is more accurate to the book. I don't know if the movie was more accurate. Don't know anything. Maybe they were all the same. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's get into the episode. Okay, so we have, you know, the intro at the beginning of the episode, of course. A couple things I noticed, you know, the whole lyrics. I was kind of paying a little bit more attention to the lyrics, and when looking at that and thinking about the narration that you know, Patrick Warburton has been doing as Lemony Snicket, I'm thinking like maybe they're overselling it a little bit, like how like dark and grim and like, oh, edgy this, you know, this show is. Like, at the end of the day, like, it's for kids. There's only so much you can do, okay? Like, and it's not even, so far, it's not even like the darkest thing I've ever seen in like a kid's show or movie. Like, just watch The Haunting Hour, you know, which I've talked about before, and we'll talk about again. R.L. Stine's The Haunting Hour, way darker than this. I'm not, you know, I like the level of darkness it has here, but just don't oversell it too much, is all I'm saying. I also, a couple things I noticed in the intro, they actually have like an alternate intro kind of summarizing a little bit of the story in this episode, you know, for this episode. So I guess they'll be doing that for each episode of the series. And by episode, I mean like, you know, the two parts of the episode combined into one longer episode. So that's interesting. I also noticed that Barry Sonnenfeld isn't directing this one, so I don't know. Okay, so the plot here is that the kids are going to live with the new guardian after everyone found out Olaf was, you know, evil and stuff, and trying to get their fortune. They meet a guy named Monty. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, as watching early in the episode, I was noticing that the actress here who plays Violet, her name is Melina Weissman, a little more expressive and, you know, a little more variety of emotions in her character than the Violet in the Jim Carrey movie. I don't remember the name of that actress. I'm not saying she was bad, but a little more interesting a character here, I guess, with the performance. So that's good. But anyway, they're going to live with their new guardian, another relative who is like kind of a distant relative who they don't know about. I'm not sure if that'll ever be addressed, why it's like another relative they don't know about, but it wasn't answered here. This episode kind of brings up a lot of questions that have yet to be answered, but hopefully, like Gravity Falls, they'll answer them more. I feel like maybe Gravity Falls might do that kind of thing better than this show, based on what I've seen so far, but, you know, we'll see. You know, with the continuing story and then, you know, leaving unanswered questions that will eventually be answered, that sort of thing. But they get this new guardian, a guy named Monty. His name is actually Montgomery, which is a funny little joke. I don't know the name of the actor off the top of my head who plays him, but I know the guy because he used to be one of the correspondents on the Daily Show with Jon Stewart for a period of time. That's where I've seen him before. He's like an Indian guy. I forget his name. But he's good in this episode. He creates this character who is like, you know, now he's like the nice guy, the guardian who's actually a good guy, likable, and he kind of pulls it off very well. You know, you like him and you root for him, even though, as we find out, the guy's a little stupid. I guess kind of like a theme that we get here is that kids are good and smart, adults are either bad or stupid. Kind of like a Kids Next Door thing, I guess, but whatever. I don't know, but that seems to be happening a lot. You know, a lot of the adults are either stupid kind of ignorant to what's going on or evil like Count Olaf. You know, he's actually a very smart guy, of course. You know, so we meet this new guardian. You know, Monty, this guy, he studies snakes and he has a lot of snakes. Like I said, he seems like a nice guy, and he is, but, you know, there's still the suspicion of, like, why are we ending up with this distant relative who, like, they don't know. Like, they never met before, they never heard of before, their parents never mentioned him. So, at one point, kind of early in the episode, the kids get introduced to the titular Reptile Room. And, you know, this room where Monty has, like, these kind of mutant species of reptiles he created. Like, there's, like, a lizard that flies or something. And we get some nice little, you know, creativity with this, which is good. You know, nice little moments. So, basically, you know, we meet this Monty, and everything seems pretty good. But Lemony Snicket, you know, as the narrator, keeps saying that by the end of the story, Monty is going to end up dead. You know, I'm not sure if it's a good thing that they tell us beforehand, but I don't know, I'll assume they know what they're doing. I don't know, kind of leaving us like with a little bit of like, ooh, you know, how's he gonna die? What's gonna happen? I don't know, maybe I would have preferred if they just didn't tell us and let it be a surprise, but whatever. So anyway, to the kids' surprise, Olaf ends up finding them despite the fact that they're pretty far away and the fact that Mr. Poe said he probably shouldn't be able to find them because Olaf's still out there trying to find them, trying to get their fortune. But he shows up in disguise. He claims to be Monty's new assistant because Monty mentions that his old assistant just mysteriously just quit the day before. Probably something that Olaf did, I assume. Now, so Olaf shows up to the front door and he's bald. I guess he shaved his head completely or has like a head covering up thing, covers his hair. And he has like a big long gray beard, which I assume is fake. And the kids immediately recognize him, you know, just like they did in the movie. And this is the part of that where I don't remember if the rest of the episode from here on out was in the movie with Jim Carrey, but whatever. I'm going to be making a lot of comparisons to the Jim Carrey movie, by the way, throughout these vlogs, if you couldn't already tell. I forget the name that Olaf gives them, but they immediately recognize him. They're not falling for it. He shortly reveals himself to be Olaf because, okay, you know, you got me, I'm Olaf. And he's, like, trying to get them. He's, like, threatening them. He has, like, a big knife, and he's chasing them around the house there. At one point, he threatens to cut off one of Sunny, the baby's toes, which is definitely a scary little moment there. It's kind of like, this guy, you know, he'll do some creepy stuff. We do get some nice humor in this episode. Overall, the episode is not as good as the Bad Beginning Part 2, the one that I, you know, vlogged about last time. Oh, and by the way, I'll put links to the other two vlogs, you know, right here. Beep. Anyway, so he tries to get them, and they're momentarily able to escape and lock themselves in the Reptile Room away from him. And, okay, once again they're thinking, okay, let's just get out of here, let's just run away, and hope he doesn't catch them. But then it occurs to them, well, wait, if he found us this time, after going so far away, who's to say he's not going to catch us again? And this is kind of an interesting, suspenseful, kind of, you know, scary kind of moment where it's like, man, this guy, he's just a really intimidating villain, and we don't know what to do, because it's like, you know, we go far away, and somehow he just keeps finding us. So it's like, you know, they don't know what to do. Thankfully, Monty ends up showing up, and, you know, they shortly realize, okay, he knows it's Olaf, and he's going to try to protect them, but for whatever reason, he doesn't want to just try to call the authorities on Olaf. He kind of gives a reason, or, you know, get them to run away. He just wants them to stay there and keep an eye on Olaf. Or so they think. He ends up taking them to a movie, and with some stuff that's not totally explained completely, I don't think, we see that the guy who runs the movie theater, or a guy who works there, is a friend of Monty's, and you see, they had this movie with subtitles, even though the movie's in English. And they had this funny joke like, oh, the best movies have subtitles. But the subtitles are actually there for a reason, because Monty's friend who works for the movie theater is putting like a coded message into the subtitles, which Monty can only see through looking through some kind of little small telescopy thing, kind of looks like one of those kaleidoscopes where you look through and see the pretty colors. But it codes a message in the subtitles which tells them, okay, what to do with the kids. And like I said, this is more kind of mysteries, which I'm sure is all going to be explained later. We see we see another brief scene with the parents, and I think, you know, they all got some kind of plan here to try to get them back with the kids and everything. But we end up finding out after the movie, well, you see, first, we think that Olaf and his henchmen have, like, captured Monty. But it turns out, no, that's not what happened. Actually, it was Monty who captured his henchmen and locked them in a trunk. And we reveal, okay, Monty's okay. And it's like, yeah, alright, he's okay. And there's a scene where Monty wants to be alone with Olaf for a couple minutes, and he sends the kids to the car. So they go in the car, close the doors, and then we see what's going on outside that the kids can't hear. And it turns out Monty doesn't realize this is Olaf. He thinks it's some guy from, like, the upper council of snake societies who's there to, like, spy on him or something stupid. And and Olaf's like, oh yeah, you caught me, okay, and I guess, okay, you caught me, I'll leave now. But Olaf's not defeated, and Monty tells the kids, this guy's defeated, and I guess at no point in the episode did he ever actually, you know, like, did any of them ever actually, did Monty nor the kids ever say to each other, you know, like, this was Olaf, so it was all just a big misunderstanding between them. Anyway, the messages in the movie basically say that Olaf should take the kids to Peru. So he goes home, and we think everything is going to be okay, or they think everything's going to be okay, but like Lemony Snicket says, we see at the very end of the episode, Monty ends up being killed. They don't actually, I think, show how, but I guess it was Olaf, one of his henchmen, who gets him. And that's the end of the episode. Monty dies. So yeah. The episode was pretty good. Like I said, I might have liked it better if Monty's death was left to be a surprise, but whatever. I'm questioning how necessary having Lemony Snicket as the narrator is at this point. But whatever, this was a pretty good episode. I think I remember seeing a couple days ago, I was looking at the IMDb page for a series of unfortunate events, this series, of course, and I believe I remember seeing that this episode was one of the highest rated episodes of the series, and I'm not totally sure why highest rated as far as, like, people go on IMDb and I'd be like, I rate this an 8 out of 10, or 9 out of 10, or 1 out of 10. I don't think it's quite that good. I wouldn't call it one of the best, maybe on a similar level of equality to The Bad Beginning Part 1. That was like a 7 out of 10. This is around a 7 out of 10, where The Bad Beginning Part 2 was like an 8 out of 10, so a better episode than this. But yeah, pretty good. I find myself almost a little annoyed with kind of how much kind of mystery there is to it. And that's kind of the stuff that's kind of just leaving me feeling a little confused. And I feel like maybe the stories kind of rely a little bit too much on that and don't give us quite enough to satisfy us at the moment, but maybe it'll all be worth it later, hopefully. Like I said, I don't really know too much about where the story goes from here because I haven't read the other books, and the way the Jim Carrey movie kind of framed it was pretty different, where it kind of mashed together like 3 different stories. I'm curious, like, what the next part of the episode is going to be, because this was, like I said, the Reptile Room Part 1, and I'm not sure what the Reptile Room Part 2 is going to be like, because I guess it won't focus on Monty because he's dead now, but I guess just kind of it's going to be the transition between this and them escaping Olaf in this scenario and then I guess moving on to getting their next Guardian, who in the movie was played by Meryl Streep. She was really good, and that was a very funny character. I'm looking forward to that. I'm curious to see who they get to play that character. I guess that's going to be the next episode. The next episode with the 2 parts, that is. Not the next one I vlog on, but the one after that. But yeah, pretty good so far, and I guess that's all I gotta say for now. So yeah, I guess I'll get another one of these out. Today is Tuesday. I'll probably try to watch and record another one on Thursday, which is also a day that I have off from work. And, oh yeah, I'm also going to be working on a review of a bad Game Shakers episode this month, which is kind of redundant because they're all bad, but I'll try to pick a particularly bad one. I have one in mind. That's going to be like my main review this month. But yeah, I'll be doing more of these vlogs, and, yeah, I guess that's all I got to say, and thanks for watching.